So I was trying to say that for some time now, I have worked personally in the care industry, and I've consulted for care companies, and currently consult for and with a care recruitment company here in the UK. So, and then aside that, of course, I have way over 10 years work experience in management and decision-making position in different companies, both here in the UK and in Nigeria. And 8 out of those, over 10 years has been in the human resources department. Now, I said that to say that in a company, nobody understands the skill that is needed and required in a job hunt, as the case may be, like one who is in the HR, because they know what skill is required, and they also know how or where to get such individuals. So hence we'll be talking about a very important subject, which is essential skills that will help you to be exceptional in in this new career path. Let me say this as I introduce us to this session. Now, you need certifications, credentials, trainings, perhaps some experiences like internship to be able to qualify to be able to get a job. But then you need these skills I will be talking to you about shortly for you to stay on that job. I'll say that again. You need somebody's raising his hand. You need qualifications and certifications, training, and sometimes internship to be able to qualify to get this job. However, I'm talking as an HR practitioner and as one who consults for an HR company. You actually need these soft skills. They are very essential for you to be retained in that job. And quickly, I will just give an example of among all the various stories, scenarios, situations that have been brought to my office. I will just mention this particular one that readily comes to mind. Now, I'll just call him Kingsley. That's not his real name, but I'll just call him Kingsley. So he had a pregnant wife and 3 children, moved into the UK, and now he needs to settle in. He needs a COS job. And then he just got the job, and then within months into the job, exceptional guy, doing a great work, doing very well. So, but sometimes some of the challenges or what is chasing you from home, the country where you're coming from, or some of the challenges you're trying to battle with immigration, well, not immigration as it were, but settling in. And then you want to settle with children, want to settle wife, financially too, you are in debt and all the rest, all of these things, and then you're chasing a new, career path, kind of a new job. All of these things can kind of tense you or put some level of pressure on you if care is not taken. And that's why you need such a soft skill as this to help you balance between your personal pressure, your personal life, and the work itself. Because one is the job that pays your bills. Number 2 is the job that gives you a legal ground to be in the country where you are in. Now, the care home where he was working is based in England, and he got to this client's home that day, and it was 5 minutes late. Now, he got there actually at the exact time, but it took him 5 minutes. I'm just giving a practical example to the subject matter, and I'll be very quick with it because I know I've taken some time to join in. Now, he took him 5 minutes to drive around to find a suitable place to park. In the UK, almost everywhere you want to park in the business environment, you pay to park. You pay 30 minutes, 1 hour, or thereabout. So he was looking for a free space to park, and that took him about 5 minutes. Now, you know what it means to take somebody 5 minutes to look for a place to park. That must have been very frustrating, exhausting. Now, he got into the client's home, and the next thing, the client started shouting, "Why are you just coming by this time? Don't you know I'm starving? How come you're just..." And all of those things. and out of frustration, he decided to vent his anger back. Am I a slave? Just 5 minutes, I'm late, and see how you're talking. He began to vent and all that. And perhaps maybe he was an HR manager where he's coming from, or maybe he was a banker level, whatever it is where he's coming from and all that. Now, since somebody just talking down at him, he decided to vent his anger back. Now, as an HR person, I know so well, they used to teach, and I teach against that. You know, companies to say, when you're entering into our office, leave your problem at the gate, because your problem is none of our business. Come in with a clear mind and do your job. But you know that is not realistic. It's not practicable. Now, think about a lady whose mother, she's only child. Her mother is suffering from cancer and she will soon die. Or a man, his wife caught him cheating and she's threatening to leave. Will that man come to the office, come to work with a clean mind? They say, I should leave my problem at the gate. And then he's not going to think about, the impending problem waiting for him at home. That's going to distort and affect his productivity. Hence, you need this, soft skill to be able to meander and manage around life and work. Now, he vented his anger, not knowing that there was a cleaner in a room that overheard the conversation. Well, he got through with his work, and then when he was leaving, he phoned his office to report the issue, and reported it from the angle of, I got in there and then the client was not understanding. He was unreasonable, and then just explained, please, I need you to take this matter up, and not knowing that the cleaner phoned the family and informed them about the incident, that the person that came in to take care of your uncle, your father, yelled at him, shouted at him, and all the rest. The family also phoned the office and said their own side of the story. Long story cut short, the office invited this person for a meeting. In the course of the conversation, this person was expecting the office was going to defend him and all the rest, but it was a different side of the story he heard. From the frustration again, and who knows what this individual is actually going through? Who knows? And then vented another level of, anger with a loud voice and all the rest. He got suspended. It was during the period of the suspension, he was brought to my office, look at the situation and all the rest. How do we help? How do we go about this? And when he was guided aright on what to do, how to handle the situation, you're not coming in to be a slave, but to an extent, you want to weigh and value what you have. You don't want to joke with it. He decided to, abscond and not do what is expected to do. Was told to send an apology letter. I didn't. Long story cut short, his appointment was terminated and he lost the sponsorship. He has a wife, 3 children, and a baby expecting. So, there are lots of stories I could share with you just to buttress this point. Now, think about another scenario. This particular case came to me, and this lady was at work, and then the person she was taking care of said or made a racist statement against her. And then what she just did, she didn't reply, she didn't respond, she just calmly went to the office and reported the matter to the management. And because the person in question doesn't have dementia, so we say he has capacity. So for him to have made such a statement, he knew exactly what he was saying. The matter was escalated to social work, and the rest is history. Look at 2 people, facing similar situation, but see how they handled it. Hence, the need for self-leadership and emotional intelligence. So now, just touch a bit within the next few minutes I have, and then we allow the next speaker to come in. So, what this skill helps you to have, includes self-awareness and emotional regulation. Now, you understand from the story of the first person I shared, it's very possible that after some time, he began to regret his action. That maybe I should have just paused. I should have held my breath. Or maybe even ignored. It's not right, but that would have even been better than reacting that way. And considering the challenges and the situations and the, struggle in settlement, there are lots of things people go through that affect them, that they misbehave, and with proper self-regulation, it helps you to be able to balance and be able to settle things well. And then it also helps us to understand again that we're first humans. So when you feel the way you feel, it's not peculiar to you. There are lots of people all over the country, in the UK, in Canada, who are in a similar situation with you. In fact, there are some people who are in a worse situation than you are in. Look at it this way. Do you know that what appears to be your own ground floor, your floor, is actually somebody's ceiling? So by that I'm saying the situation that you might be complaining about, I want to find a way to get out of this, I'm frustrated, I'm exhausted, how long they will keep treating me like this, and all the rest, that you are trying to leave that thing. You may not understand exactly what I'm talking about until you move in and you are in that situation. Then you get to appreciate this soft skill. Now, what you are trying to leave and you are exhausted at is what somebody is praying for, is somebody else's prayer point. Now, it also helps you with empathy and compassion. So it gives you a very practical way to develop a deeper emotional connection. Now you have somebody you are doing your very best for. This is a client you're serving, and you have your own challenge, you have your own difficulty. Perhaps your child is sick, and of course, once there's an issue in school and the school calls you, your child is not feeling fine, he or she is running temperature, you have to leave whatever it is you are doing. Come and pick that child in school, or else they'll call the social work for you. Now the school has phoned you. You need to come. I'm giving you just simple, practical examples from various things that have happened and things that have been brought to our office. Now, the school calls you and tells you, so your child is coughing or something, so please, you need to come and pick her. And you know that you're not going to close until the next 2 hours, or you're not going to be on break until the next 2 hours. Now, you are in a client's home, and then the client is, you've given the food, and the client is, I'm not going to eat this, I'm not going to do that. You are, okay, take your medication, I'm not going to take that. And the client is unreasonable, he's misbehaving. And while that is going on, your phone is buzzing, your phone is ringing, the school is calling, come and pick your child. And maybe you even get a text message like a threat. We might have to involve the social work because it's like you are irresponsible. You may not know how heavy that threat is for somebody, a management or a school, to threaten that they're going to involve social work. That's a very, very big trouble to be in. You don't want to be in that kind of a trouble. How do you manage? And the person you're even trying to spend your time with is unreasonable, is misbehaving. See, it is not just your care certificate or whatever experience you have on the job that helps you meander through this. It is self-leadership and emotional intelligence that helps you with this. It also helps you with effective communication. You're saying something and the person is not understanding, or somebody is saying something to you and you're not understanding. See, you listen to people based on your mindset, based on your understanding of what they are saying. There are times that somebody says something and then it's not exactly what they're saying that you are getting. Sometimes you react wrongly. I remember a case of somebody who was, I'm just citing some simple example. So now this person, the client was asking this person, take this clipper, could you help me with a shave? Now, but the way the person was saying it was as though he was saying, take my clipper. He took the thing and kept it in the bag, and there was a camera there. Do you understand how some of these things, now if you're called in question, it sounds very funny. I have loads of examples and stories, and of course registering with us at Reskill will provide you the platform that many of these training companies don't really have. And by the way, we are registered in the UK, so we have first-hand information of what is going on on the job, in the field, both here in the UK and in Canada. It's not just to give you the skill and then of course we also help you get job here. It's not just to help you with the skill, get you with the job, and then you leave. We'll also give you requisite soft skill that you will need. Decision making, my time is almost up. I will just need to wrap up within the next 5 minutes. Decision making under pressure. Okay, like I said, now you need to close at a particular time to be somewhere. Maybe you close at 2 and you need to drive 45 minutes home, and your children's school closes at 3, and your children cannot leave the school themselves and go home, so you need to get to the school and pick them up. And here you are with a client who is unreasonable. This is your last client before break, and the client is taking time, is wasting time. Maybe he's even trying to, Do you understand that kind of, it's just to do what you need to do and to leave, and the client is asking for something that is not part of what you're to do at that time. For example, he's asking you for a wash. He's asking you to prepare a fresh meal, not the pre-made meal in the pack. And this is going to take your time beyond the visit time. Or for example, the client has fallen. The client has fallen. You can't carry the client up. It's against the rule. You can't carry the client up. And you cannot leave the client there until either a family member comes or ambulance comes. And you need to be in your children's school to go and pick them before they close. See, in the UK, 2 minutes after closing time, especially if your children are toddlers, I mean, they are maybe primary, well, here we call them P1, P2, P3. Maybe they are like P2, P3, so they are very small. 2 minutes after closing time, you have not come. The school will start calling you. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Now, ambulance has not come. The client is on the floor. And the client is screaming, carry me, carry me. And the client is on the floor. And you need to go and pick your children. Some of these things, they are better said than experienced. But then it is with these soft practical skills that can help you cope with it. And if you say you leave the client there and then you are rushing, you want to quickly go and pick your children and none of the rest, you get into trouble. And your immigration status is at risk. Of course, patience and adaptability. Conflict resolution. So how do you cope with a case where you have a team lead or you have a supervisor, a manager that permit me to use the word, is colorblind? So by colorblind, it's a racist, right? And then you, who is a senior manager in Nigeria, now you are doing this, and then the person is telling you are not smart, telling you that you are deaf. Now there is a way these white people speak that, especially if you are new in the system, you want to say pardon, or can you say that again, or you say you are not here, and the person responds and tells you, are you deaf? Can't you hear? And again, that's in the aspect of communication. Again, how do I say this now? Sometimes your comprehension level is likened to your intelligence level. And if you are not careful, and then your team lead feels, because you don't hear them clearly the way they talk, and then they judge you that you are not smart, and you take that up, and that begins to lead to conflict. You begin to react to them. How do you manage such a kind of a situation? It helps you with resilience, stress management, cultural competence and diversity, lots of things. You work in an environment where you are the only black. There was this place I worked in, it wasn't in Care, that was when I just came in. And then in the entire place, I think the entire staff strength there, let's say we're just about between 35 and 40. Between 35 and 40, I was only black there. And guess what? I didn't spend up to 2 weeks. I was moved to about 3 departments. I was in the 3rd department 2 days into the 3rd department, just in less than 2 weeks, when I got a better job. And then I needed to leave. Come and see people coming. Why would you live like this? How would you? I said, this place is too far from my house. I need to take 2 buses. We will get you a house. I said, I have a family. We will get you a wife. Just less than 2 weeks time I stayed. Is it because I knew the job? In fact, I had to do training to know the job. But then there are certain skills that stands you out in a multicultural environment. As I bring this session to a close, there was this lady that came into the UK, and she came to work. She came for school, and when she got through, she got this job as a carer. And then within 3 months of her employment, now she had just 5 months experience on the job, but 3 months in this company. This person was invited by the management for some further dialogue. We want to know you more. We want to know certain things about you. Everybody who comes in from Nigeria. Now let me say this in advance. In the UK and in Canada, Nigerians are said to be ambitious. Call your friends in Canada who work in care. Call your friends in. That's what they say. Nigerians are ambitious. They question things, which is a good trait. It's a good trait. But if care is not taken, it will be seen as arrogance. This person was invited for some, bring your credential. Let's even get to know you more. And within 3 months, this person was moved from just being a carer to becoming the HR manager and quality control. Do you think his care certificate that did that? Do you think his care experience that did that? I'm Dr. Tim Atimo. It's my plum pleasing pleasure and a privilege having this session with you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.